scandals mushed. Number 3, support the troops gate. The latest evidence that for this government, that is not a policy but a brand name. ABC News reporting that the Veterans Administration has been using our Iraq and Afghanistan vets in emotional distress as guinea pigs for unproven drugs for the treatment of post-traumatic stress disorder. One of them is called Chantix. The VA gave it to our heroes for 3 months before telling them of the possible side effects, which include suicide and neuropsychiatric behavior. Former Army sniper James Elliott said he was told Chantix would help him stop smoking. Months after he began taking it, he found himself in the street in front of his house with a weapon, asking the police to shoot him. Number 2, Halliburton Gate. Charles M. Smith, the senior civilian overseer in the Army for war contracts, well, he was in 2003 and 2004. Then he notified the then Halliburton subsidiary, KBR, that Army auditors had determined KBR lacked credible data or records for more than $1 billion it was charging the Pentagon as expenses in Iraq. And then he was fired. And then the Army hired outside contractors to re-review the KBR billion, according to Mr. Smith. And then KBR got paid nearly all of the billion. And number 1, pass the buck gate. The Senate Armed Services Committee is investigating the history of harsh interrogation techniques and when and under whose insistence the idea that we should waterboard people or otherwise torture them entered into the mindset at the Pentagon. The General Counsel to the Defense Department under then-Secretary Rumsfeld, Jim Haynes, testified to the Senate in 2006 that the proposal to use torture originated well down the chain of command from Gitmo commanders who in October 2002 told the Pentagon that suspected terrorists had stopped cooperating. He produced a memo from the top military lawyer at the prison suggesting specific harsh interrogation techniques would be legal. Unfortunately, Senate investigators have found Pentagon memos and email from July of 2002 in which the Rumsfeld elite were asking for suggestions from military experts about stress positions, sleep deprivation, hooded questioning, and the like. Late that month, a final list of such actions was compiled. Many of those emails were written by Jim Haynes, the same Pentagon General Counsel who insisted that the ideas originated at Gitmo 4 months later, even though they clearly originated in the Pentagon. And beyond the obvious problem that represents for our nation and what we are supposed to stand for, that small detail is a very, very, very big problem for Mr. Haynes and for the man whom he worked, Donald Rumsfeld.